What's going on, everybody? I'm your host, Ben Bally, back with another episode of the Sports Pod. And today, I'm going to get into games one and two of the World Series. And it was not disappointed. I was skeptical going in, but it has been a lot of fun to watch. I'll get into all of it on the other side of the intro. Hit it.
DiVincenzo a three. Bang! Bang! Got the wall. He jumps. It's gone. He did it. He did it. Pete Alonso with the most memorable home run of his career.
All right, getting into the episode, recapping the first little segment, we'll call it, of the World Series. First two games out in LA. Yankee fans, I'm trying to tell you, you guys are not that good. You guys are not as good as the Mets or the Dodgers, and that was apparent in both games 1 and 2. Game 1, let me just give you a little summary real quick. Not a high-scoring game, a real barn burner, pitcher's duel. Two aces going at it, game Garrett Cole and Jack Flaherty. Cole was magnificent, 7 innings, 1 run, and Jack Flaherty only allowed 2 runs. And that came off a mammoth Stanton homer. And this was Friday night. I was in the Garden for Knicks Pacers opening night. When they showed that Giancarlo Stanton homer, and when he hit that homer, the Garden erupted. That was the loudest cheer of the night. It was louder than anything the Knicks did, any boos, any cheers. It was the Stanton homer flat out. A Let's Go Yankees chant broke out. Then they showed it on the big screen. It made me really wish the Mets were in the World Series. I'm going to be honest. That moment really made me wish that the Mets won that series because yes, I did. I was already wishing that the Mets had won the series, but it took it to another level right there. But what a game. I wish the next game was still going on when Freddie Freeman hit a walk-off grand slam into the night and sent the Dodger fans home happy in game 1 of the World Series. Very reminiscent of Kirk Gibson in the 1985 World Series walk-off homer in game 1 of that year. And let me get to Aaron Boone for a sec, because Boone has made questionable moves over his entire managerial career. But for Yankee fans who want Aaron Boone out in New York, the only thing that Aaron Boone has done in New York is win. He's been the manager since 2017. You've missed the playoffs only one time. You've gone to the ALCS or World Series 3 times in his tenure. Why? If I was a Mets fan, I would sign up for Aaron Boone's questionable bullpen decisions any day of the week. All they do is win with him. Why do you want him out? It doesn't make sense to me. But yes, bringing in Nestor Cortez after he hasn't pitched for a month is a questionable move. It worked to get Shohei out. On one pitch, Shohei popped it into foul territory, and Alex Verdugo made a tremendous grab, sprawling into the first row out in left field. And then you put Mookie Betts on intentionally, which this is another move Yankee fans had sort of a gripe with, because Mookie was 0-for in his career against Nestor Cortez. But there were runners on second and third in that situation, 2 outs. It sets up the force at any base on a ground ball, a softly hit ground ball. That is absolutely the right move. It sets up the lefty-lefty matchup. Yes, I know it didn't work, and I'll get to that more in a second. But that is the right play from a baseball perspective. If it worked, everyone would have called Aaron Boone a genius. But it didn't, so he's going to take the flack from it. He's going to catch some hate. Now, the Freddie Freeman at bat. First pitch, Freddie was all over it. He jumped a fastball, pretty center cut, a little bit high in the zone, but almost right down the middle, and he smashed it. He was hobbling around the bases. A feeling of elation for Dodgers fans. And for Yankees, the Yankees and their fans and the feeling in the clubhouse, if I had to guess, the feeling is that they threw that game away. Because game one was right in the Yankees' hands. It was there for them to take. The Dodgers didn't play all too well. They kept the Dodger offense quiet. Shohei didn't do anything. He was 1 for 5 in that game. Freddie Freeman has been hobbled this whole playoff run. Teoscar Hernandez hasn't been able to do anything. Tommy Edman was finally quiet after a raging hot NLCS. But in game one, the Yankees only allowed 2 runs in the first 9 innings. Then you get to the 10th inning. And in the 10th inning, the Yankees scratch across a run. The Yankees put a couple hits together, and they ended up getting their third run of the game on a hard hit ground ball, but it would have been an easy play if the infield wasn't playing all the way in. Kike Hernandez had to dive at it, and he couldn't make the play, and a run scored. So if you go to play-by-play, in the last inning, so Volpe grounded into a fielder's choice. So Kike Hernandez did end up making a play, but it wasn't the play that the Dodgers wanted. And if he had been in double play depth, even not even all the way in, I still think he would have gotten the out at home. He probably wouldn't have because it was Jazz Chisholm, but he would have had a better chance because it was in his range and he wouldn't have had to dive. But then in the 10th inning, and even before that, let's start. I think it was in the 7th inning after Garrett Cole gets taken out by Aaron Boone. Aaron Boone pulls him out, and enter Clay Holmes. And with Clay Holmes, you never know what version of Clay Holmes you're going to get. Sometimes you get the erratic version. Sometimes you get a locked-in Clay Holmes that's striking out batters. And for the majority of the playoffs, the Yankees have gotten the locked-in Clay Holmes that has been pretty dominant. But not in game one. Clay Holmes could not throw a strike to save his life. He hit a man. He walked the guy on 4 pitches. Eventually, he got the second out on a pop-up and I think a ground ball. And then he was struggling, and then Aaron Boone came back out, pulled him, brought in Luke Weaver, who it was a little bit of a stretch. Boone wanted to get a 7-out save out of Weaver. But in the World Series, I mean, you got to stretch your guys. This is what the playoffs is about. Luke Weaver comes into the game, gets the last out of the inning easy. Goes through the 8th. The Dodgers did end up getting a run across to tie the game. And this was the big run. This was where the Yankees threw the game away. Shohei Ohtani's hitting. Ohtani laces the ball down the right field line into the right field corner. Juan Soto, who is a Gold Glove candidate, by the way. Gold Glove candidate. Throws the ball into second base. Not a terrible throw. But Gleyber Torres botches the catch. And he lets the ball squirt away from him. And Ohtani, who is a very fast baseball player, advances to third. So now you've got 2 outs an out in the inning. Mookie Betts coming up with a runner on third. And Mookie Betts did what he had to. He drove the ball deep to center field. Almost a warning track shot, just a foot or two off, but plenty deep for Shohei to score. And that tied the game. That tied the game at 2. And then from there on out, it was gridlocked until the 10th inning, when the Dodgers brought Blake Trinan in, who hasn't been as dominant as he was for most of the regular season. He's allowed a run in the last 3 of his starts, or his appearances, rather. He allowed another one here. Like I said, the Yankees produced a run. Jazz Chisholm, pretty much by himself, stole second, stole third, scored on a fielder's choice by Volpe. 3-2 LA, 3-2 New York, going to the bottom of the 9th. Going to the bottom of the 10th. Jake Cousins comes on to pitch for New York. Dodgers load the bases. And here comes Freddie Freeman, and the rest is history. Freddie Freeman is one of the best hitters in the MLB, one of the best pure hitters, one of the best swings, and he has been doing this for many, many years. And trust me, us Mets fans know a ton about getting torched by Freddie Freeman. Didn't happen in the NLCS. I was very surprised. I thought he was going to have a huge NLCS just because he is a certified Met killer. So Yankees lose game one. They throw the game away. They definitely could have had it. But you got to reset, refocus, and go on to game two with Carlos Rodon on the mound, your lefty. And the lefties have been pretty solid against this Dodgers lineup. They've been able to neutralize Shohei Ohtani and Freddie Freeman throughout the playoffs, not just in the World Series because Rodon was the first lefty starter, but Sean Manaea obviously had a big start in game two. And even the Padres series, the lefties were pretty dominant. So Yankee fans still feeling fine. Carlos Rodon said he was here to pitch in October, not April. Let's see what you got, Los. A solid first couple innings. But here comes Tommy Edman once again. I have such a hatred for Tommy Edman after this playoffs, and it's just because of what he did to the Mets. He absolutely torched the Mets that entire series. I have Tommy Edman in my nightmares. I just envision him just getting these bloop hits when the Dodgers need them the most. It's so annoying. But Tommy Edman curves a home run around the foul pole to give the Dodgers an early 1-0 lead. And it would stay like this until just 2 innings later. Teoscar Hernandez comes up with a runner on, and he goes yard. Dodgers up 3-0. Then Juan Soto hits a homer, cuts the lead to 3-1, and the Dodgers tack on more insurance. I don't really have any problems with this game. The Yankees did threaten in the 9th inning. Bases loaded with 1 out. Anthony Volpe at the dish. In his Derek Jeter-esque moment, he was compared to Derek Jeter coming up through the minors in last year, starting at shortstop as a rookie. What does Volpe do? In a very un-Derek Jeter-like way, strikes out on a breaking ball in the other batter's box. So the Yankees are down to their final out. Austin Wells will be the hitter. But the Dodgers are going to make a change. They're going to go to their bullpen. And Aaron Boone is going to go to his bench. He's going to pinch hit his veteran catcher, Jose Trevino. Now, Trevi, he hasn't done much for the Yankees from July on when Austin Wells cemented himself as the starting catcher for the Yankees. But he's done it. He's come through when the Yankees have needed it. Here's Trevi in a big spot. Elevates a pitch deep left center field, but it gets caught just in front of the warning track. So the Dodgers escape LA with 2 wins. This game is interesting to me because I don't think there was a big mistake by Aaron Boone. I don't think there was a big miss by Aaron Boone in the way he managed his bullpen. But I do think at some point you don't get that many chances with the bases juiced in the World Series. You have to take advantage every single time if you want to win these baseball games. This is October baseball at its finest. I said this was going to be a very unenjoyable World Series going into it, but Rob Manfred has cooked up a very fun script for this World Series. Going into game 3, I think the Yankees win just because they have to, and the desperation factor is going to be there, and the Yankee Stadium crowd is going to be absolutely raucous. However, if the Dodgers win tonight or tomorrow, the series is over, and the Yankees will lose, and us Mets fans will finally be able to hit home on our argument that the Mets were better. Because if the Yankees lose in less than 6 games, that technically means the Mets are better. So, like I said before, I know the Mets could have beaten the Yankees. I absolutely think they would have 100%. It makes me sick because you don't know how many more chances you're gonna get in the NLCS. I mean, it seems like that DeGrom, Matt Harvey, Steven Matt's crew, Noah Syndergaard was gonna be getting deep into the playoffs consistently. They had the World Series appearance in 2015, wild card in 2016, and that was really it for that crew. So you got to take advantage of these moments, and that goes for the Yankees too. Like, they haven't been here in 15 years. They have to take advantage of this because they don't know when they're going to be back. Who knows what's going to happen with Juan Soto? I think he does stay with the Yankees, but who knows what's going to happen? All right, that's going to do it for this episode. I'm your host, Ben Bally, and make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Check out all my links in the description below, and keep it locked with the Sports Pod.